Chapter 1. The Machine. My name is Michael. I am a rich man now. I have a big house. I have a fast red car. I have a good life. But I was not a happy child. I was a very lonely child. My father was the reason. My father was not a real father. He was a ghost in our house. My father's name was Thomas. He worked every day. He worked at a big factory. He left our small house at 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun was not in the sky. He came home at 10 o'clock at night. The moon was high in the sky. He was always tired. He ate his dinner alone. He did not talk to me. He just ate his food and went to bed. He worked on Saturday. He worked on Sunday. He worked on holidays. He was always at his job. He was a machine. My mother, Sarah, was very quiet. She was a sad woman. She just watched him. She never complained. Our house was very silent. It was a cold, silent house. I did not like my house. I did not like my father. I had many school games. I played football for my school team. I was a good player. I looked at the other fathers. They were there. They watched their sons. They shouted and smiled. My father was never there. The chair for my father was always empty. I was a boy with no father. I was very, very angry. I hated him. I hated him. My mother was my only family. My father was just a man in the house. He was not a person. He was not my dad. He was just a money machine. Chapter 2. The Money Machine. I grew up. I left that cold, silent house. I went to university. I studied very hard. I wanted to be a successful man. I wanted to be different from my father. I did not want to be a poor, sad machine. I wanted to be a real person. I got a good job. I worked hard. I was smart. I made a lot of money. I became a rich man. I bought a big, beautiful house. I bought a fast car. I had everything. I was a success. I was better than my father. One day I visited my parents. It was a Sunday. They still lived in the same small old house. My father was old now. He sat in his old brown chair. He looked very tired. He looked very small. My mother, Sarah, sat next to him. She was very quiet. My anger was still big. It was a hot fire in my heart. I looked at this old, tired man. I wanted to tell him the truth. I wanted to hurt him. I wanted him to feel my pain. I stood up. My voice was very loud. I said, "I am a rich man now, Father. I am successful, but you are nothing. You are just a poor old man in a small house." My mother said, "Michael, please. Do not talk like that. He is your father." I did not listen to her. I looked at my father. I said, "You were never there for me. You never came to my games. You never talked to me. You were not a father to me. You were not a father." I pointed my finger at him. I was shaking. I said, "You were not a man. You were just a money machine. That is all. A machine." My father did not speak. He did not look at me. He just looked at the floor. He was silent. His silence was his answer. His silence broke my heart again. I left his house. I did not look back. Chapter 3. The Empty Box. Last week, my father died. He was 70 years old. He died in that same small old house. He died in his old brown chair. He died alone. I felt empty. I was not happy. I was not sad. I was just empty. I was numb. I went to the house. I had to help my mother. My mother, Sarah, was there. She was sitting at the small kitchen table. She was very quiet. She just looked at her hands. The house was so silent. The machine was finally broken. I had to clean the house. I had to find his papers. I had to find his money. He worked for 40 years. He worked every day. He never spent money. He never took a vacation. He never bought new clothes. He must be a rich man. He must have a lot of money. A secret, I thought. He hid his money. He was a cheap, secret man. He worked for money, not for us. I was still angry at him. I looked in his bedroom. His room was very small. I looked in his closet. I looked under his bed. I found an old brown box. It was heavy. It was full of papers. I put the box on the table. I said, "This is it, Mom. This is his secret. All his money is here." My mother did not look up. I opened the box. I saw many bank books. I smiled. I was right. I opened the first bank book. I was ready to see the big numbers. I was ready to see his treasure. I was ready to hate him more. Chapter 4. The Secret. I looked at the bank book. My hands were shaking. I looked at the numbers. I was very confused. The numbers were not big. The numbers were very, very small. The bank account was empty. I opened the next bank book. It was also empty. Nothing. Zero. All the money was gone. I was shocked. I said, "Where is the money? This is not possible. He worked his whole life. Where is all his money?" I was angry. I looked in the box again. I threw the bank books on the floor. Under the books there were other papers, many, many old white papers. They were not bank papers. They were papers from a hospital. They were doctor's bills. They were very, very old. I looked at the name on the bills. The name was Sarah, my mother's name. I looked at the bills. The numbers were very, very big. The words were big. Medicine, hospital room, doctor, treatment. The dates were for 20 years. 20 years of bills. 20 years of payments. I looked at my mother. She was still sitting at the table. She was watching me. Her eyes were very sad. I finally understood. I finally saw the truth. My mother was sick. She had a very bad secret sickness. A very, very expensive sickness. My father worked every day. He worked 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. He worked on holidays. He worked to pay these bills. My father was not a money machine. He was a hero. He did not work for money. He did not work for a fast car. He worked for her. He worked so I could have a mother. He sold his life. He sold his time. He sold everything for me. I fell to my knees. I looked at the white papers. I looked at my mother. I was crying. I said, "Mom, why? Why did you not tell me?" She spoke. Her voice was very quiet. She said, "He did not want you to worry, Michael. He did not want you to be sad." She continued, "He just wanted you to be a happy boy. He wanted you to have a good life.